How should a writer start a screenplay?
I think if you want to write a screenplay, you should take the path of least resistance. So start the screenplay however feels easiest and most fun to you, right? If you don't know where to start, I think a good place to start is with just a brain dump. So I think sitting down with, whether it's, notebook and pen or on your laptop or whatever, and just writing down everything you know about the story. And it doesn't even have to be stuff that you know that happens in the story. It can be things that you like about this type of movie. So I love horror movies because they scare the pants off of me and they make me grab my boyfriend's arm or whatever it is. You can write all of that stuff down. That's all part of like what you're going to try to get into your project, right? So everything that inspires you about it, maybe why you want to write it, maybe the last movie you saw that felt sort of like you would like your movie to feel, movies that inspire you. And then also in that same document, I would also try to put everything that you do know about the story. So the idea that I have is about this guy, and this is his backstory, and these are his friends, and this is the situation he finds himself in, and I don't know where this goes, but he encounters some sort of swamp monster, and stream of consciousness, just brain dump. I think that's the great place to start your story for two reasons. One, because it gets you to kind of like download your spark of inspiration, right? Which is really useful later on when you're feeling bored and tired of your story. You can revisit that document and remember, like, what was it like when I fell in love with this story? And then the second reason is that you can actually pull a lot of the sort of elements that you need to start building your story from that document. So if you said, I know it's about this guy who, grew up in Texas, that's probably your protagonist, right? So that gives you one of your elements. And you can sort of start circling the things that you've written down that you may not have known were important yet, but you can start using those elements to build your story from. So that's where I think everyone should start. If they don't know where to start with a brain dump.
And is that a natural part of being close to a screenplay for a long time, is you will get bored and tired of it, but that doesn't mean you need to abandon it?
Yeah, I think I can't remember if I've ever met a writer who didn't say at some point or another they got tired of the project they were working on. One of the most common things that I hear people say is, I can't look at this script anymore, so I need a fresh set of eyes on it, right? So I think it's totally natural, totally common to be, because the writing process is so much longer than you think it's going to be. Usually, for the most part, every script that you work on is going to take more drafts than you expect. And, they may not be full rewrites or full drafts, but there's always one more thing that, if I connected these elements, that would, give it more meaning. Or if I went through and tweaked the dialogue of this person, that would give them more, more characterization or whatever. So there's always more to do. So the writing process is always longer than you think it's going to be. So I think that, yes, that's very common to fall out of love with your project at some point or another, probably multiple times. And that's why it's really useful to kind of crystallize your spark of inspiration at the very beginning so that you can revisit it later, when you are feeling low about it and feeling like, why did I ever start this? You can go back to that initial, like, true love feeling.